Okay, so how do you buy sets and parts for Hero Factory and Bionicle stuff? Especially when both of those themes have been long dead for many, many years. Well, in this video, let me share with you many different ways that you can actually buy these pieces and these sets. Let's discuss. Alright, let's start off with Bricklink.com. This is easily the best website for you to go that will have pretty much everything you need. Whether that's Bionicle sets or Bionicle parts. Literally every set, every piece in existence will be on this website. And 9 times out of 10, someone's going to be selling that piece on Bricklink for you to buy. Now, finding system Lego bricks can be a little bit tougher on Bricklink because there's heaps of categories where those pieces are located. But thankfully, pretty much every Bionicle piece is going to be located under one of these two categories. Certain pieces are elsewhere, but the bulk of what you need will be here. You can get a lot of Bionicle pieces very, very cheap. Some are just a few cents each, some even less. Others will cost you a lot more, but it all depends on the rarity of that piece. Now, depending on the set you want, it may be a little bit more expensive, like say the Cardus Dragon, for example. That's a rare and very expensive set, so you're going to pay a lot for it. But if you want a more standard Bionicle or Hero Factory set, like Mark Surge, for example, the price is fairly cheap. You just have to shop around a bit and find the best deal. So yeah, Bricklink is pretty much your best choice. Another really good choice is Facebook Marketplace. You can search up Bionicle or Lego items in your area, and a nice amount of stuff should pop up. Obviously, prices will vary depending on what you buy, but this is a great way to get used Bionicle sets or bulk lots. And hey, normally if you buy a bulk lot, you'll be able to get a lot of different sets for much cheaper than you would if you were to buy all the sets that come in that individually. Most of the time. Depends how people price it, obviously, but 9 times out of 10 that's the case. Also, buying on Facebook Marketplace does allow you to barter and haggle, so you might be able to get what you're buying a little bit cheaper, if you play your cards right. And hey, there's even other construction-related items like these Knights Kingdom sets too. Well, there can be. Obviously, it depends what people are listing on Facebook Marketplace. But this is what comes up when I do a search in my area. Now, one thing to note. Take this listing here. Someone is selling a used Redax set. This fantastic Paraka set. Now, they want 15 Australian dollars for this, which is not bad. Sadly, it does say it's missing a couple pieces, but basically all of it's there. That's good. So let's compare the price of this to what it sells for on Bricklink. Okay, so here's the two cheapest ones on Bricklink. They're $14 and $15, and both of these are incomplete. Although the way the second one is described here, it seems to be basically complete. So we may as well buy that one, right? Because it pretty much has all the pieces and it's roughly the same price. Well, one thing to factor in here, you're going to have to pay shipping costs for this. And so these are in Finland and the Netherlands, and shipping from there to here in Australia, well, it could be anywhere between $5 and $10, and knowing shipping costs from pretty much anywhere to Australia, it's going to be more than that. So all up, you're actually going to be paying a fair bit more if you're buying it on Bricklink. But if you buy it on Facebook Marketplace, I can just drive there and pick this up. Not going to have to worry about shipping cost whatsoever. A lot of the time, Facebook Marketplace is in your local area. So make sure to factor that in when you're looking at the price of the set. Now, I tend to use Facebook a lot when I'm buying Lego these days. I just highly recommend it. I found a lot of great deals there. You can also buy Bionicle stuff on eBay. As you can see here, there's a lot of variety. Some stuff is on the cheaper side, and some stuff is certainly a little bit more expensive than it maybe should be. eBay does have a reputation of inflating the prices a little bit, so just be aware of that. Still, there's a lot of good deals you can find on eBay, you just gotta keep an eye out. And make sure to buy from people who have good reputations and positive feedback. You don't want to get scammed. eBay's also the kind of place where you can stumble across rarer sets or more unique items, like some of these interesting custom masks, for example. Also, different listings on eBay will either have the buy it now option, or you'll be able to bid on the item, which could be an avenue to get it slightly cheaper. It just depends how much interest there is on the item. Now, another online marketplace is shopgoodwill.com. Well, that and physical Goodwill stores as well. Now, Goodwill stores, they can have Lego in them, but recently they've moved a lot of their Lego to their online website, so it's pretty rare and pretty difficult to find Lego in any of the physical stores, unfortunately. Although the positive thing about buying Bionicle stuff, some of the employees might not even realize it's Lego and they'll just throw it on the shelves. Maybe. Still, if you want to buy cheap Lego from Goodwill, it's best to go to shopgoodwill.com. There's plenty of Bionicle stuff there for sale. Now, unfortunately, you do have to place bids on these items if you want to buy them, so you might be competing with other people. I mean, look, just a quick search for what's available right now. There's a lot of good stuff for sale. Some really nice sets, some lovely looking bulk lots. I think it's really worth checking it out. There's a lot of great stuff here. Another alternative, you can shop at charity shops, op shops, thrift stores, or antique stores. I've found a surprisingly large amount of Bionicle and Lego stuff at these kinds of places. Now, they won't always have Lego for sale. but they can, and sometimes it can be pretty cheap as well. Although it does depend on the store. Sometimes they put it for pretty cheap, other times they do their research and they're like, no, this is what it's worth. The price always varies. Now, I have found that op shops or charity shops, whatever you want to call them, I find that around the world, it varies on what you're going to find. In Australia, it's not that common to find Lego or Bionicle stuff for sale. In America, it was a lot more common. And in Denmark, it's very common. And Denmark has some of the best selection you'll ever find. Still, it is worth looking. You never know what you might find. And on a similar note, yard sales could be a great place to find Bionicle parts and Bionicle sets. The same can be said for garage sales as well. But it all depends, of course, if that place happens to have some. You might show up and they have nothing, but that's the thrill of the hunt. And tangentially related to that, toy fairs and antique shows, they can have Lego for sale as well. There's actually a couple toy fairs that happen pretty much every month where I live, and I've been attending them for about 2 years now, and every single time someone has been selling Bionicle stuff. And it's always been pretty reasonably priced. They seem to base the prices off of Bricklink prices. So see if there's a local toy show or a toy fair in your area. Mine consists of people who buy a table and they bring their stuff to sell. So, of course it just comes down to if someone's actually going to bring Bionicles. But I tell you what, it's a delight to be able to have the opportunity to buy Bionicles every single month. So I definitely recommend a good toy fair if you happen to have one close by. Another option, and sadly this is really only for the Americans who are watching, pretty much every state in the US has a bricks and minifigures store. I've been to a few of them and they rock. You can buy new sealed sets, you can buy old retired sealed sets, you can also buy second-hand sets that are pre-built or they'll take them apart for you. You can even bring your Lego to sell. It's a really cool place. And of course, you can buy Bionicle stuff here. And some of them even have a big old table full of Bionicle parts that you can buy. I think it depends on the store, but some of them are like pay by weight, or it's like fill up this container and whatever's in there you can buy. Yeah, the stores are really, really cool. So give it a cheeky Google and see if there's a bricks and minifigures store close to you. Alternatively, the US and most other places in the world, they'll have their own independent Lego stores. They're not owned or operated by Lego, it's just some mom and pop store that someone's opened up and they're selling Lego. Bricks and minifigures that I mentioned before, that's an actual franchise, but independent Lego stores, they're all over the place. We have some in Australia, I've heard of some in Canada, there's a bunch in the US, I've heard of some in Malaysia. You'll just have to Google and see if there's one nearby. Or you could open up your own one. Whoa. But look, chances are they might have a little bit of Bionicle. It's worth checking out. Now, speaking of independent Lego stores, I also highly recommend a store called Atlanta Brick Co. I've been to their physical store in Atlanta itself, and it's magical. They also have a whole area of the store that's dedicated to Bionicle and Hero Factory, and it's normally pretty well stocked. Plus, you might find a few other interesting rarities and goodies in there too. Now, also in-store and also online on their website, you can buy individual parts or sets. So even if you don't live in Atlanta, you'll still be able to shop here. But one of the best things they have is that you can buy bulk Bionicle pieces off of them. It seems here that half a pound comes to $24.99 in United States dollars. So yeah, that's about the cheapest I've ever seen for bulk Bionicle parts. So this would be a pretty good, cheap and affordable way to increase the size of your collection. Now, they've also recently opened up a store in Orlando called Orlando Brick Co. So if you're nearby, there might be some good Bionicle stuff there for you to get. So head over to their website or go to the physical store. I really like what they do. Another option, if you're a part of a LUG, a Lego user group, this is basically just a group of people who like Lego, who hang out and talk about sets, build stuff, go to conventions, whatever. But yeah, if you're a part of a LUG, ask around. There might be some people inside the LUG who have some Bionicle stuff that they don't really want. I'm a part of some LUGs where I live, and a lot of the people there, honestly, they don't really care about Bionicle, and there've been plenty of times where people have just given me free Bionicle stuff, or they've sold some of their Bionicle stuff for me for a pretty good price. And in the past, I've found some pretty nice rarities in some of that Bionicle that I bought off of them. So yeah, ask any Lego people that you know, they might have some that they're willing to get rid of. And finally, Lego conventions are a great place to buy Lego. The few times that I've been to Brick Fair, Virginia, they've had lots of Lego for sale and a pretty good amount of Bionicle stuff as well. The vendors there might be selling some, but also some of the exhibitors who are displaying their mocks, they often bring sets and parts that they want to trade or sell. Sometimes you can even find cool custom pieces or bootleg pieces. I mean, check out some of these incredible pieces that I got a few years ago at Brick Fair. These custom pieces are gorgeous. But of course you can get official stuff as well, and that's more commonly what you're going to see. So look, any convention could have Bionicle stuff. Brick Fair, Virginia is pretty much the best place for Bionicle related things, so it's definitely worth checking out. But also, check out local conventions that are near you as well. So there you go, that's a bunch of different ways that you can buy Bionicle pieces, even though Bionicle is long dead and gone. Thankfully, there's still plenty of ways you can get it today, and sometimes for pretty cheap as well. Hopefully this helped you out a little bit, and hopefully you'll be able to score big on your next Bionicle purchase. Now, do you have a story about how you came across some really cool Bionicle stuff that you bought? Or do you buy Bionicle in a way that I didn't mention in this video? If you do, please share it in the comments below. It'll help me, it'll help others. Let's get a discussion started. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.